So have you ever been to a nice restaurant and you got this really lovely presented plate of food? It's very artsy fartsy and all that stuff. And then someone just grabs like a ketchup bottle that's a little stuck and starts beating the end of it until it all spills out. That kind of feels like this movie with testosterone to me. Anyway, so yeah, Northman. I know everyone's talking about Doctor Strange. We'll get to that later this week. But for now, didn't want to get a chance to miss this movie. But sorry, what was that, sir?
This was, I was just going to explain to any viewers that this review being delayed is my doing because I was too exhausted last week to stick to the original plan.
At this point, I think it just accepted that we're perpetually late at this point. In general, as I described many times, this has been a shit year. We're all fucking tired. So
yes.
But anyway, we're here to talk about The Northman, which is the latest movie behind the person behind the Vitch or the Vivitch or just the Witch, whatever you want to call it.
The Witch.
Yeah, I think it's. I've heard a few different interpretations of the name, but either that one, and the other one where they
the Witch, the Lighthouse.
The Lighthouse. I was gonna say, what was the other one where they talked unnecessarily complex for a movie that's relatively straightforward? Right, The Lighthouse. And I remember really liking The Witch. I was kind of iffy on The Lighthouse.
I haven't seen The Witch yet because it looked kind of scary. I saw The Lighthouse, and I feel like I got more out of it than most at the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know he definitely got it more than we did. I know both me and Muha, we're kind of just kind of on it. Not that it's bad. It just, I don't know, it just didn't do it for me. But here we have this new epic Viking folklore story. That's grand story of revenge and savagery and raw and naked men fighting in volcanoes and shit like that. With which is so interesting. Just the pure level of just overt masculine testosterone being rammed in your face at any given moment while still being a very artsy with your fartsy kind of style of artisanal movie.
Yes.
Your thoughts, Sarah?
Yeah. My initial takeaway from this movie is that it is a display of Viking savagery. When I came home after seeing this, my mom asked me what it was about, and I told her Viking savagery, and she said, "Oh, we're descended from Vikings," and my response was, "Well, I can't really see you running around naked and beating people to a bloody pulp." And she's a retired lawyer, and so she said, "You should have seen me in court." Because the pen can be mightier than the sword.
That's true. See, I'm not sure I would say this kind of act is exclusive to Vikings, because really, like, the kind of story this tells is still pretty popular on like Greek or medieval lore, I would say. Carry very similar vibes of like lineage and revenge and tracking down the magical item. Like even like I would say like reigns through like Richard III or Macbeth kind of follow similar beats.
Or even a little bit of Oedipus in there.
Yeah, a little bit of Oedipus, yeah. So like I don't think this is really exclusive to Vikings so much as it's a more traditional folklore story told through a Viking lens. Which is why it's like interesting in that point. I think the joke I was kind of giggling to myself while I was watching this. So I was like, oh, so this is the origin of furries. Which I definitely want to hear at every furry con from now on. Is that we are descended from Vikings because they just really wanted to be wolves.
Oh, they were in wolves' clothing anyway at one point.
But it's I mean, yeah, their whole sequences of like Ethan Hawke just barking and howling like a wolf. I was like, okay, we're doing this. All right, this is an interesting choice. And then Willem Dafoe, that's like the beginning of the movie.
Does Ethan Hawke play in this?
Ethan Hawke is like the father. He's the one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the one that, like, spoiler alert, dies in the beginning of the film.
Well, that's in the trailer. That's not that big of a spoiler.
No, but still, with Willem Dafoe doing his best, like, I did this in the lighthouse, and I'm going to do it in this movie, and it's going to be just as confusing. Except I sound slightly less like a pirate here, which is not really a diss. I enjoy Willem Dafoe pirate. By the way, I know I sound like I'm shitting on this movie. I actually did really enjoy this movie, but it is, at the same time, it is like the more masculine, the more testosterone you put into something, the easier it is to make fun of. So there's just a lot of jokes you can make out of this. That being said, the presentation and the way they include the dialogue is very Shakespearean, very like dramatic, very epic in its scope. And I guess they had to tone down some things, I guess, in the climactic battle, which again I don't think is a spoiler because when the word of this got around pretty quick of the naked Viking fight in the top of a volcano. I guess they really did this one. I guess they originally did want full frontal nudity for both actors in there, which honestly I would have been 100% down for. But
I'm always down for seeing Alexander Skarsgård's Tukas. I saw it when he played Eric Northman on True Blood.
I'm not talking Tukas. Like, I mean, give me full Viking peen. Let's go. Just let them clash swords too, along with all the other crunching and growling they're doing up there. But I guess that was too homoerotic for the studio. I have no idea if that's true, but
I don't know.
Either way, it's that kind of stuff where, like, it's all beautifully shot and it looks really cool. The cinematography,
very atmospheric.
It's very atmospheric. It's very Shakespearean in its delivery. It's even like down to like almost like the harpies. Like this goes back to my Greek mythology. It's very much like, we're like, it's all following a prophecy and I'm trying, like, this is how it's going to go out. We need to let fate pay itself out or stuff like that. I have no idea if this is based on an actual Viking myth. It wouldn't necessarily surprise me it did, because it does like all the beats of a traditional folklore story. But that
would make sense.
And like, it would surprise me this turned out to be based on a real myth.
I did find it interesting that his uncle settled in Greenland, which there's a bit of a legend that it was originally named Greenland to attract people to move there because immigrants were so certain that it would be a land of prosperity, and that ended up not happening.
Turns out it got really fucking cold.
Yes, because it got really cold and ended up being a wasteland. So I did find the pieces of geography that were identified very appropriate and interesting for the world building and the mythology of it.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is a director who's definitely always had a good eye for like atmospheric, gloomy as shit scenery.
Yes.
With both The Witch and Lighthouse. But he also does a good job of making the environment part of almost the character of itself. And that I would say that same rule applies here as he kind of goes through his very Macbethian like tale of revenge and conquest and just slowly destroying this man's life.
I also got some Hamlet in there with the uncle killing the father and marrying the mother. That's true. That's straight out of Hamlet.
That's true. My point is, like, it's very Shakespearean in its presentation, and that includes how everyone talks. Except this is definitely much more coherent than your average Shakespeare play, because at the very least you actually know what people are saying.
Because it's not in Elizabethan. It's in more grunting than Elizabethan English.
Pretty much, yeah. But it's also just distinct enough to be like, here's my artsy fartsy language, but also they're gonna growl like wolves and go rah and shit.
And they're gonna belch and fart. in a cave as a rite of passage.
I forgot about that. I remember Ethan Hawke playing a wolf, but I forgot that. I forgot about the farting the belching. I was like, all right, that's definitely one way to go about it. But it's one of those things. Like it's a weird blend of it's a movie that's fairly easy to make fun of, but there is still like a lot of legitimate artistic integrity to it.
Oh yes, it's definitely worth seeing. It's something that I wanted to see because I wanted to support another original story, and I'm glad that I have seen the big original stories that in film this season thus far. From I'm glad that I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm glad that I saw this. I'm glad I saw The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, all original IPs, as it were. That's so I did want to make a point of supporting this.
Yeah, for sure. Especially since Doctor Strange 2 is knocked it right the fuck out of theaters.
Exactly.
Although I think it's coming back. I think it was only like those first couple days, but we're definitely in a weird time of films in theaters right now, where it wants to come back in full, but it's still kind of like waiting for the next COVID wave to hit. We don't know what the fuck's happening.
I have been told by a regular customer who works at the local hospital that the rates are up. The news is just not reporting it.
No, they're reporting it. I checked today.
Oh crap!
Oh, well, I guess I'll keep vamping. So that's always a good sign, isn't it? I guess the FBI is on to her, or Center for Disease Control, CDC. I'm gonna pause and let her get back in here. And we're back. Sorry about that, everyone. Sarah had to survive trying to get assassinated by the CDC. But I'm not making fun of you. Why am I getting the stink eye? I'm saying you're preaching the truth and they try to kill you for it. You're a rebel without a cause.
Yes.
You must go into hiding and call yourself a slave so you get revenge on the CDC. Don't actually do that, FBI, if you're listening.
No.
This is a joke. I don't want to hear knocking at my door any minute now. And I don't trying to see any red dots. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, just my drapes.
I'm more thinking like, is it there's like I know the FBI's got scopes, so I'm just making sure there's nothing like on my head or anything. But anyway, run that bit into the ground. Anywho, Northman. So yeah, I don't really know how much more I have to say about it, other than yeah, it's good. It's really good.
It is really good. I was a little confused or by Nicole Kidman's character arc. It didn't go where I was expecting, and I couldn't tell if that was Stockholm syndrome type stuff or if she really hated her original family.
I think it's more of the latter. I think it's implied pretty early on, and this is a twist I kind of saw coming.
Oh.
Mostly in the fact that she was a little too eager to go along with the next best solution, so to speak. And she did treat the uncle with a lot more affection than like was expected. So it's kind of implied early on, again, kind of very Shakespearean in that way. So I got the impression I got was that yeah, she did absolutely hate Ethan Hawke, which fair. I saw Purge. So like that was my interpretation of it. So when that twist, like we had that reveal of no, she just wanted her family dead, an old family dead. I was like, yeah, I buy that. That makes sense to me.
Okay.
So I would say watch it again and pay attention to that early, the first act, and you'll catch a lot more of those hints.
Okay. Yeah, so I do think this would benefit from multiple viewings.
Yeah, you should, like, again, support indie film.
Yes.
That's how everything everywhere is still fucking going, despite
which I am so glad about. I originally went to Sunnyvale to see it before it came down here,
yeah.
and then when it came down here, I saw it in Monterey twice, and I kind of want to see it another time now that has been at the theater in PG.
I mean, I've seen it 4 times, so you're in good company for that.
Yay! But yeah, I'd say this year is off to a pretty strong start for good original cinema.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really say I've seen a lot of movies I outright hated this year so far. I mean, Morbius sucked ass, but I mean that's not really a surprise.
No, I decided to pass on that one. So you took the bullet there.
Yeah, twice. Ugh. Oh, Uncharted. I forgot Uncharted came out. That movie also sucked ass. But yeah, other than that, yeah, good movie.
Yeah,
Glad we made time to go see it.
absolutely. And if it by some lucky chance Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness hasn't pushed it out of a theater near you, it's definitely worth your time.
Even though I think it's going like streaming like next week, so I think there'll be chances still to go see it relatively soon. If you haven't already, probably because Doctor Strange pushed it out so quickly. But either way, it's gonna be out. It's gonna be out streaming next week, or I think this week. Go check it out. It's worth your time. Had a good time with it. I would watch it again. So we got Doctor Strange coming out, and I'm still trying to schedule all of that. That's gonna be a whole thing. But yeah, and then I don't even think anything comes out this week. So
Not that I'm aware of. I think we're getting that Ethan Hawke horror movies soon-ish. The Black Telephone.
Ethan Hawke has had a busy year, hasn't he?
He's really enjoying playing villains.
I mean, they are a lot of fun, to be fair.
Yes.
Even then, he would not really come a villain in this movie, kind of
Well,
ish.
between Black Telephone and his
Moon Knight, yeah,
and Moon Knight, he's going for the darker roles.
that's true. That's fair. All right, I'll give him that. All right. Anyway, catch us soon for Doctor Strange 2. See you guys. Bye.